right, guys. Well, good luck with the episode. I'm not going to be on it this week. As you know, I'm taking a hiatus, so have fun.
What? Just give us 1 hour. Just you can have your hiatus. Just do it after the podcast.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. I'm going to go play Witcher. I got games to catch up on. I'm taking a break.
Look, everybody loves a hiatus.
Look, unless they told me that they're suddenly fixing Melee hit registration, then I got nothing to say.
Ooh. Yo, I got some news for you.
What?
There's a crow in the garden, gathering green leaves. A home for our children, it's a shelter for the trees.
Hello.
Oh, damn it, birds. You ruined the harmony.
Oh, what? I went for the 4th instead of the 5th. It works. Welcome to yet another episode of your favorite show, Crucible Radio.
Crucible Radio. That's another way of saying it.
Crucible Radio.
The show for all things Destiny PvP.
We've been having fun.
What? There's nothing to complain about? There's not like problems with like melee detection. There's not like bad drops in Iron Banner. What? There's got to be something.
I don't know. I can't think of anything. I had a subpar breakfast.
I've only eaten hummus and donuts today, so
How about this Iron Banner, guys?
Ooh, how about it, man?
the drops are lit.
Well, first off, I signed in at the reset. Not the reset, but like when Iron Banner went live this week, to find that I was still rank 5 from last Iron Banner.
Yeah, buddy.
And I could buy whatever I wanted, as long as I had the marks. So I dismantled a bunch of things in my vault for marks, and I bought this auto rifle, the Hakon's Hatchet.
I think that Tormod's Bellows roll is about as good as it gets. You got grenades and horseshoes, you got great base stats, you got the field scout, so you get the 3 rockets, even without your special boots. It's pretty hard to beat.
My special boots.
My brand.
Can't have my special boots.
But that's awesome because we kind of said it weeks ago before the April update, but it's come to our attention that working on our light level is probably the most fun to be had right now. And this is immediate, constant gratification where it's like, I'm putting in a little bit of time in the Crucible, I'm playing with my friends, and I'm getting rewarded on a frequent basis.
It's been quite generous this time around, and I've upgraded quite a bit of things on my way to tier 12.
Got your eyes set on tier 12. You told me about how in Tower Ghost, the Chrome app that helps you manage your inventory, that it'll show you using colors if your gear has got like the kind of roll on it that is just like top of the line, so you've got really high stat boosts from your armor. And I went through and I looked and I realized that none of my gear is green. Not a single green piece in it. Like, I like it for other reasons, but that was kind of a kick in the pants. Tier 12 is not going to happen on accident.
It reminds me of like IVs for Pokemon. It's like, oh, I realize that none of my Pokemon are good.
Dude.
But I love them anyway. But that's kind of how I feel about my gear right now. I do like Clash. I'm very much enjoying it. I do kind of miss Rift. Part of me is missing some Rift right about now, and like the Rift running and all that. But I'm having lots of fun in Clash.
I just love how the opening move in every Clash match, for me at least, is the exact same, which is sprint around the side of the map into their spawn as fast as possible, so you can try and just shoot like 2 or 3 people in the back. Even if like I trade on the first one just to catch the one person who is slow getting out of their spawn while everyone else, just my favorite. There's nothing so predictable for the rest of the match.
I could have sworn you were going to say that your favorite part was the 300 style rush to the middle of the map where 12 people meet up and throw grenades at each other, and it becomes the most hectic thing I've ever experienced.
That is like the most baffling thing because I do it sometimes. And like even on smaller games, you just rush to the middle and fight. And I took a little break from Clash and I was playing Elimination with the Battle Bros. And we were doing Elimination on Sector 618. We run to the middle. I get hit with smoke, void grenade and a lightning grenade all at the same time. I die immediately, and I'm like, why did I do that?
What do you mean I can't hit square?
It's like, what was the point of that? I knew that was going to happen. And then Clash, it's just that times 5.
Yep.
No, my plan is hoping that 11 people run to the center, and I can kind of like go off to the back and to the side.
The only map in which strategy for me involves some sort of flanking is Vertigo. As a Titan, I skate all the way up to the portal, and then I go around the outside to their spawn on the 300 style meet in the middle, and I throw grenades at them from behind.
Very satisfying.
The only one that I do that. Otherwise, I am part of it.
I really wonder what Vertigo would play like if the portal went both ways. It could be pure chaos. It could be awful, but I want it to work once.
Oh,
I wish they would just turn it on for a week, and then I could just run up behind B and have no one have any clue. It could be fun.
Yeah, I mean, it might change the fact that the entire match in Clash happens at B point and virtually none at A and C.
Exactly. But I would love it if 6 people sat on the exit and 6 people sat on B and just like waited for someone to walk through. No team doing anything.
Or if like grenades could go through. Yeah.
Oh, the best.
You throw a grenade through the portal and all of a sudden you get a kill.
Yeah.
Well, there's that sort of bi-directional portal thing where you sort of just peek through and then you don't like what you see on the other side and just like nope backwards through.
It's, what is that? Crossroads.
Yeah. You appear behind B and you like,
oh boy,
I came to the wrong neighborhood.
Pass. I had a moment on Frontier where I was just sort of solo queuing where the very first move I did was run under the bridge, just go full troll. And I spent my entire first life, I got 7 kills on my first life, and I stayed under the bridge the entire time, and I was just like, people were duking it out on the bridge, pop up, throw smoke on them, blast them with plant seed, drop back down. No one seemed to figure it out. It took 7 kills before somebody came and got me. That's the only time is you can do that, is literally just Iron Banner Clash. Like, you could never get away with that any other time. Solo queued, just
hanging out under the bridge.
Yep.
Sometimes I feel like just rolling solo.
Yep. What loadouts you guys been using this banner?
Well, I've been exclusively running Vacancy as a primary.
As a primary.
That's kind of it.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it's so much fun to watch someone get hit by it, and then they disappear into a purple cloud of nothingness. And
just that little sprinkle of purple ash that floats away.
So satisfying.
So satisfying.
The most satisfying fusion rifle kill is the one where you hit them with the first bolts in the knees and that goes all the way up to the head.
Yeah.
And you're like, I nailed them with every single bolt in that fusion rifle, and they're gone. Goodbye.
We had a great moment on Shores of Time, Swain, where I was about to get shoulder charged and you just vooped them with the Vacancy and they just like they disappeared, but the void stuff kind of like washed over me and I just felt terrified. So it was still coming at me. I'm like, what just happened? He just disappears. No one expects that. They still don't expect that.
I think there was one point where you were just following me around the map as I was just like kind of like fusion rifling my way in a circle. And all I hear is like Bones just laughing and going, vroop, vroop.
I've been using a variety of guns because I can't settle on what I like. And I feel like my skill is deteriorating and it makes it harder for me to choose. And this leads up to my coming hiatus, which we'll talk about later. But I have just been switching guns every game, which is kind of what I've been doing for the last 2 or 3 months of Destiny, to be honest. But now I have even more guns to switch through. I've been using the first curse a little bit. Doesn't get enough love, especially with this light level. If you got a low light level and you just like 2-tap them, it's just rude. The Hawkman is great. And yeah, I mean, lots of shotgun. I love my longbow. I have a very good longbow. Haha, gonna brag, but I've started to shotgun more and more based on these sniper ammo changes, and I'm liking it.
Yeah, I've had a lot of fun this Iron Banner with my loadouts. And I mean, like, it's mostly my primary I'm switching up, but for the most part, I'm keeping one one thing going, and unless I get like a 335 primary, I infuse my favorite thing at the moment, and then I move on to the next thing to infuse, and then use that.
I think that was part of it too, like getting a new higher light piece and thinking like, well, what is the best thing to infuse this into? And I just like look at my current loadout and say like, okay, I'm having fun with this. This is what's getting the light. Like maybe I'll regret having Plan C be higher than every other weapon I have, but fuck it, I love Plan C. Although I have to admit that vacancy and the Thiessen are much more reliable when it comes to res. What do you call res sniping when it's with the fusion? Res
vooping?
Res vooping.
I was so used to like being able to res voop people with the Thiessen and switching to the Plan C, and it doesn't quite do the job anymore. At least with accelerated coils, which is the perk I've been running recently. Not quite the same. I might have to give this vacancy you guys keep talking about a fair shake.
You know, I've been mentioning the 9 or 10 or so fusion rifles I have in my vault, and I've been messing around with a couple of them. I need to level up a few more, and I need the mets to do so. But, you know, I just keep going back to the vacancy, and I'd use my Thiessen, but the vacancy is just perfect. I think that archetype is really where I feel the best. And I've got people telling me that they love the Split Shifter Pro and the Long Far Gone archetype. It works in the right hands. I don't think that's an non-viable archetype, but I personally can't control the fast ones. I don't land enough bolts because they need 5, and so the vacancy is right in that sweet spot. But I do want to buy the Dead Orbit one because that thing literally hits like a truck, and I don't know, maybe it'd be even better.
I think what I really like about the fusion rifles, it really just comes down to the way I liked playing as a sniper user is up close, like kind of in that mid-range, kind of up close and kind of quick. And it kind of passes off from like, all right, I have to plan this sniper shot up close and I have to plan this fusion rifle kill up close. Except the fusion rifle is a little unforgiving, and a sniper rifle you can switch to a primate quicker, or you get a body shot and that's most of the kill. But I think that's why I like it. I like it because it resembles my sniper rifle play. Kind of closer, kind of quick. You know, it's nice. I very much enjoy it, and I'm going to be sticking to it for a little while.
Oh, you've joined the dark side. One thing that's nice about, because you know, outside of Iron Banner, I'm pretty much playing Rumble or Threes. One thing that's nice about Iron Banner for fusion rifles is that it's so chaotic that you can get away with pre-charging just continuously, just zoop, 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 because it just gets lost in the chaos of what's going on. Especially playing with Mr. Battle Boxes and Battle Crates, who are just a like continual stream of charging noises around every corner. That like in Threes, you got to be a little more conscientious about that because you give away so much information about sort of where you are and what you're planning to do to someone in just another half second or so. Yeah, it's nice to be able to just go full continual charge, voo, voo, voo. Honestly, my favorite thing about Plan C is the way it sounds more than anything else. I hate the scope on it. I just love the way it sounds when you land 5 bolts on somebody.
Well, it's been a good week in Iron Banner. And we also got some really great news from the TWAB guys. Some TWAB.
Oh, man. I'm happy.
TWAB good news.
Sandbox engineer John Cable. He even sounds like a superhero.
He came from the future.
My name is Cable. Sandbox engineer John Cable. He says, when a melee attack seems like it connects, but it doesn't do any damage, this is usually a networking problem. Networking, space internet tweak the logic related to player positions during melee attacks can still occur because the internet isn't perfect, but it should be much better. But then he goes into the second paragraph where he talks about why it happens, where, you know, there's 2 different types of failures. There's the ones where it seems like it connects, but it doesn't do any damage, versus where it whiffs, but it feels like it shouldn't have whiffed. And he talks about the hit boxes, where how that surging happens. I sort of have to step back and be amazed at sort of like how much processing is going on across 12 people on the internet at the same time But at the end of the day, the new fix should make Arc Blade and Shoulder Charge much more reliable. John Cable.
Let's give him a round of applause. But this is going to be great for everyone that, like me, plays Sun Charge or Arc Blade or Shoulder Charge on the Arc subclass for Titans. You're going to have a lot better of a time when you go to connect that melee, if your internet is good.
You know, it's gotten to the point where there are melees that I know should have landed, sort of like last moment melees, and they don't. And it's like, I'm past the point of getting like, oh, what was that? Like, just, okay, it's fine. It is what it is. And I had accepted it. But just to know that I don't know, they made it better, that thing might just be going away in a large chunk. Just makes me happy. We do have to wait a minute. It's coming out May 10th or so. Tuesday, May 10th, they said. So we've got a week or two to bide our time.
They're also going to roll it out in two parts. They're going to roll out the 2.20.2 update, which will fix a few other things. But then they're also going to roll out the melee code will be manually activated. Expect that to come through. You'll probably be kicked out of orbit if you're playing at that point. But I'm pretty excited. I'm really hoping that the weird melees that I've been getting with my Sunbreaker don't go away, because they're kind of amazing, and they're making for some great clips.
Oh, this clip, man.
Yeah.
Okay, set the scene.
Okay, so I am on Vertigo, and I'm like, just like putzing around the map, kind of like going in circles. It's Clash. It's, crazy out there. And I am making my way up to B, where the portal is, and I jump onto those little ledges right there. And there's a guy that's like kind of below me, so I'm punching down at him, and I hit him, and there must have been some sort of weird connection with the melee, and maybe he was jumping or anything, but I hit him hard enough to throw him across the map into the portal, and he dies when he hits the portal.
This is not the first time it's happened.
It's not the first, and it probably won't be the last. It's happened so many times that it's getting reliable. Where I can hit someone that's getting close to me, and it only happens when the Sunbreaker has a charged melee. So like if you have I use I think it's like Thermal Vent. I think that's the one where it makes it like the spinning fiery flames around you when you kill someone. But when I have that, I hit someone and they go flying, and I can either hit them with my fusion rifle for the cleanup kill, or a primary usually does it. But it's almost like skeet shooting. Pull.
Well, that sounds like an immense amount of fun. We sort of talked last week about your goal of hitting tier 12, but having fun. How's that going?
I've been focusing less on my KD at the end of games and more so on my loadouts and keeping everybody in my, fire team happy and, cheerful, because that's where it plays into it. Having a good time is very important from an aspect of like the rest of your team. The rest of your team needs to be having fun for you to have fun most of the time. Me and Keen Koala did a very drunk trials ticket on Monday, where we ended up using Thorn and fusion rifles for an entire ticket, and we got 7 wins. I apologize if any of our listeners were one of those 7 wins. But it was so much fun, and I'm looking forward to many more days like that, more focusing on fun and, getting better slowly but surely.
All right. Well, Bones, you sort of hinted to it earlier and talked about it last week. How are you feeling, big picture?
It's been interesting. It's been an interesting couple of weeks, both with my overall progression in the game. I mean, since we started this show, and on top of new stuff, the new content has been honestly wonderful. And I know we tend to just love Bungie no matter what on this show, but really, I mean, just quality of life improvements. Everything's good. Not a lot happened to the Crucible. I'm just talking about my general Destiny life nowadays. My main focus right now has been getting like future war cult loadouts and just having like full sets of armor, which means nothing. It's funny that you mentioned also going for tier 12, because if I really focused on that, you compared it to EVs in Pokemon, and I'm not talking about the Pokemon called Eevee. We're talking about EV and IV stats.
Let me get that moonstone.
If I can't actually focus on Destiny in that kind of detail. So I've just been trying to like, I don't know, mess around, figure out what new guns I like, what old guns I still like, because plenty of what I was using since September I'm still using regularly. But to be honest, and we sort of talked about it last week, and I reached a conclusion, I am going to take a hard 1 week minimum hiatus from Destiny. And that goes into not salt about the game. You know, I'm not disillusioned with the Crucible or burnt out totally, but, you know, we talk about quality of life in the game. I also really need to think about quality of life outside of the game. And we put a lot of weight into this, or at least I do. And, you know, I put a lot of pressure on myself to do well, but I haven't been doing as well, which only makes me more frustrated, which makes me play more because I think I need to practice. And we know that doesn't help. You know, I've seen the MTash video. Putting in more hours is a myth that does not improve your game. So I want to rest my mind, my brain, my hand-eye coordination, do some other stuff, maybe catch up on The Witcher. And I'm going to take a full week off of Destiny and just see how I feel with 7 days. You know, I'm playing Iron Banner because I want the light level, because I want to be a highlight and I want to have cool future war cult crap. But, I mean, really, when it comes to playing my heart out and trying to get better, I'm not going anywhere, and I need to reevaluate. And maybe I'll come back with a bang or something like that, and maybe I'll feel better. But I just need a break for my own, you know, well-being, which is not a bad thing. It doesn't mean Destiny's boring or Destiny sucks now or it's a dead game. It just means, like, I have played it a lot. That's really all it is.
Yeah, I can speak from experience from, you know, taking vacations and kind of like accidentally taking some time off from Destiny, and that it almost always helps. I almost always come back from it feeling refreshed, feeling much more interested in the game. I feel like, oh, I missed out on this stuff, but like, no, I can do it now. I'm gonna grind out all these strikes or do, you know, a bunch of PvP matches. Like, it may be a placebo effect, but it almost always feels like I'm better when I come back.
Yeah.
Well, as somebody who takes many forced vacations from Destiny because I travel for work, you know, it's interesting sort of how you talk about it, Bones. Like, coming back, I would say it's about 50-50. Sometimes I come back and I'm so hungry to get back into it, and I feel like the fire's lit in me and I just can't wait to get going again. And sometimes I kind of, you know, I find something else in that week off, and I feel passionate about that. And I realize, hey, you know, the week was kind of nice. I start exploring something else, and bigger picture, I get to sort of focus on something else in my life. And that, even though maybe I'm not playing as much Destiny at the moment, that gets me fired up to feel good about this and to want to come back feeling strong and you know, keep coming back. So yeah, man, that's inspiring. I hope it goes well. I'm gonna miss you.
I do too.
I'm gonna miss you, buddy.
I know I'm not gonna come back and be like tier 1 all of a sudden because my wrists are all
well rested,
not tired and stuff like that. I still gotta type 8 hours a day at work, but we've got some other stuff to work on. And when I'm playing, we don't have time to work on some cool other stuff involved with this show. You know, I don't want to drop too many hints, but new stuff, maybe new things, maybe new
scheduling interviews,
things like that. Some apparel. I don't know, but look, our 1 year is coming up, so you better keep an eye out.
Yeah, we ready to get emotional here, guys.
I thought that was last week. I thought we only getting emotional once.
No,
oh man, we're getting right back into it. We're staying emotional. We're connected now. We got a couple of letters this week, and we get a fair amount of mail. It's always great hearing from people, but we got a couple this week that were some real shit, and I'm kind of tempted to just
Read them up.
to just read one of these. Yeah, let's just read them.
We really appreciate hearing from you guys. So, and we want to know that you've improved by listening to us. We rattle off every week. We kind of meet up and, you know, make jokes and talk about the Crucible and talk about, you know, what we find funny every week. But we really want to hear that, you know, what we're doing is helping. If you want to send us an email and tell us a little about how you've improved, or at least what you've gotten from the game ever since you started listening, you can just email us at crucibleradio@gmail.com.
All right, so check this out. This one's from a guy called Velvet. It says, I remember just starting to listen to Destiny podcasts. I didn't play PvP, so listen to Guardian Radio, maybe the Planet Destiny podcast. It was fairly early in year one. About halfway through year one, my buddies decided I needed Thorn and dragged me kicking and screaming into the Crucible. With my Void Fusion in hand, I proceeded to get owned by everyone in sight. My 0.1 to 0.3 KDs told a tale of me never needing that gun and never needing to go back into the Crucible where the truly murderous Guardians played. Yeah, that's funny. Thorn was what did it for me too. Just won that gun. Being way too competitive to truly stop, I started searching for any info I could find on the Crucible and any podcast focusing on helping me get better. I found one, Crucible Radio. Started at the beginning, episode 1. Listened to the introductions, met a few new personalities. I found one that was well on his way to being a Slayer, one that claimed the middle ground, and one that said he was a total noob like me. Now we know him as Bones, Birds, and Swain. That first episode sounded to me like an invitation to learn and grow with this show and its hosts. Slowly, my KD started to rise, and I saw there was hope. The show taught me there was a whole lot more to Crucible than Twitch skills. Taught me that I could outthink my opponents with good positioning and tactics, and I could make up for my lack of thumb skill with my mind. As you all have progressed, so have I. I'm consistently near or at the top of my lobbies, and very rarely go negative unless my kid and I are running our own little challenge modes. He's a huge Mr. Fruit fan. I've gotten good enough to have a bunch of phantom medals, but Unbroken and We've Run Out of Medals are still out there for me to work towards. You've also influenced more than my game skills. Bones and I share something in common. We tilt through guests like Sports Psycho Steve, which is what we're calling him now, and your general positivity. I've been able to dial the tilt way back and enjoy more and more of my PvP experience. You've also taught me not to blame the meta, lag, or OP-edness of whatever gun and look at myself and what could I have done different. Thank you for the amazing show. Thank you for the positivity and the salt-free environment. Thank you for the early invitation to take this ride with you guys. Sorry, I'm old and wordy, your fan, R. Velvet J. Well, thank you, Velvet. That was I'm like genuinely touched right now.
Yeah,
I'm feeling touched.
I never really thought of it that way. The way he put it, that when I first started, I was definitely a noob, definitely new to Crucible, and I definitely feel like I've grown with our player base to get better at this game. Whenever I meet someone that's like, oh man, you guys have shown us so much, I've gotten so better. I see like people posting pictures to our Crucible Radio Twitter of them, and they're like, I just crossed 1.0 KD. I remember when that happened to me, and I remember when I saw my KD rise, and it's nice to be on this little adventure with you all.
You know, you mentioned sports psychologist Steve. I just remember Steve talking about the growth mindset, where it's not about winning or losing. It's about how you look at it and seeing every opportunity as a chance to do better, to become better, and the fact that just happens over time. And I don't always remember that. I get I've had a rage quit or two, but it's good to know that people take that stuff to heart, and we learn from you guys too. So,
you know, we also got another email from Let's Get Gaming. You know, he hit us up early on in our life of being a podcast, played some games with him, and, you know, it was just a ton of fun, tons of trials tickets later. Still a friend. He emailed us, and here we go. When I started listening to CR, the pilot episode, my level of success and fun in the Crucible was dismal. Frustrating game sessions where I felt like a complete failure and a hindrance for my team started to fade away. Though they play at varying skill levels, I felt that Birds, Swain, and Bones all had something to offer to my gameplay. Birds has taught me it's okay to play casual and improve at my own pace. Bones started out teaching me how much I could improve. And Swain hit the sweet spot for me. I could identify with Swain. He just wanted to get better like me, and I was willing to put the time in to do so. Though our classes are as different as two classes can be, Warlock or Titan, he was always the one who made me feel like we could run side by side, and even though he is much better than my skill level now, I can't help but think a little piece of me goes with him. Swain, Birds, and Bones, you guys made me a competitive in a way I never thought possible. You streamlined my small amounts of success and the time that I have to devote to Destiny amidst family and work and responsibilities. Thank you guys for how much you have devoted your own time to get me to the lighthouse, Bones, give me an appetite on Twitter, Swain, and make me laugh at ridiculous bits, Birds. I'm forever grateful to this community. Let's Get Gaming.
Thanks, Les.
It's Birds with those dank May-Mays in 2016.
Oh, man. Half the stuff I said on this show just haunts me.
Seriously, Les and Velvet, thank you guys so much. And I can say that personally. You guys have been incredibly supportive, and I love seeing you guys stop by in the stream and on Twitter and stuff like that. And Les said it best, though, thanks to this community, because it's not just us. It's all of us working together, and it's been said a billion times, but I don't play this game like I've ever played a different video game. I've never felt inclined to get attached to people who play it or to make friends on the internet. I've played tons of multiplayer shooters. I can't tell you any time where I've met up after a raid or random LFG in the Crucible and then played more games with that person just because we had a great Trials match. Mm-hmm. Like, I lost to players in Trials and made good friends in this game. That's insane. And it's just so cool how much this community actually reaches out, wants to help each other, wants to befriend each other, wants to make it a better place. And, for every dumb, salty comment about firebolts, and I'm not letting anyone off the hook for that, there is plenty of amazing people out there playing this game who love it as much as we do. And it's the reason we do this. So thank you.
I will definitely add to that and say that being in the public eye for this game and being at the forefront of talking about it every week, we definitely do see all of the complaints. We see them not nearly as much as Bungie does, but we do hear it a lot. Some days it's tough. There's no way of talking about it. It's tough to see the game you love, see the game you talk about so often talked about in that light, and to get messages like this from a community that's so awesome and from our community, it really helps those days.
Truth.
Word.
Well, in addition to some great letters, we also got some questions, and I'm really coming to enjoy these lightning rounds we do. Should we do some questions from Twitter?
Absolutely. Sure. This time it's Twitter. Last week was Slack. Next week, let's do YouTube. Okay? I'll just call it right now.
Oh God.
What's a question in YouTube? Planet Destiny fans, what's up, everyone? Leave us a comment. We will be checking the YouTube like we always do. What do you want to know from us personally? What do you want to know from us impersonally?
It can be as
opposite?
Crazy or well-pointed as possible.
Yeah, anything Crucible related, Crucible radio related, hit us up. But now we got some Twitter questions. Let's hear them.
For example, Mr. Josh Karash asks, chicken or beef enchiladas?
Chicken.
Beef.
I'll go with beef.
The real question is, do you like green enchiladas or red?
Yo, I like both of them, but I love a green enchilada.
A really good green enchiladas is nothing to discount.
Give me all the enchiladas. I don't care what are we debating
we just
here.
agree that we're hungry and we want enchiladas. Next question.
Well, J, I don't even know how to say it. Biesiada. Biesiada?
Biesiada.
He wants to know, what guns do you wish were better or more usable? Example, I'd love to use the Fabian strategy, but it's just meh. I agree on the Fabian strategy. I want to use my Titan exclusive.
Sticking with auto rifles, I've always been so madly in love with Monte Carlo's design. I think it is the most beautiful gun in this game. It just looks so cool from the inventory screen, from holding it. But And, there's arguments for it on your Night Stalker with lots of smoke. It's, it works. It's not broken or anything like that, but I just want it to be like the best gun in the game. I'd love a Monte Carlo meta, honestly. It's just so cool.
Oh, this is probably a bit of a tired answer. I've been maining my Eos Luna, my God Roll Eos Luna All Iron Banner.
I thought you were about to say you want Thorn back or something.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's only been like 2 weeks, birds.
I miss them. No, you know what I wish had a little more time in the sun is the legendary hand cannons that aren't lucky enough to have that God Roll. I've just thrown out so many interesting Crucible drops, so many Revelators and Eos Lunas that just didn't have the right combination of range boosting perks. I wish they were a little more forgiving there. They're close, but just a little more forgiving.
Hashtag make Thorn great again.
Yeah.
I'm
not going to lie. I wouldn't mind it.
I got a blue Omelon hand cannon today that kind of threw me off because of the icon. It looked nothing like I've gotten before. It was the most boring looking Omelon hand cannon ever. It was just plain black. Like nothing on it, and it had some of the greatest like flavor text about like sending someone to their funeral. It was so weird, but I wish I could have more like that.
There's a blue pulse rifle out there called Psi Alba. It's like Psi Alba 4 or something like that.
Yeah,
keep an eye out for it. It has the impact of the Grasp of Malak, and I got one with like Outlaw and Counterbalance. And not gonna lie, that's kind of a cool gun to have if you don't have a Grasp of Malak. So.
Wait, you mean I shouldn't just immediately dismantle every single blue everything that I've ever gotten?
I mean, realistically, you should do that. But I'm just saying, if you really want to just annoy someone and use a blue gun to kill them at the Crucible.
There you go.
Go for it.
Let's throw a blues only tournament.
Ooh.
Blue armor. Blue weapons.
Blue armor.
Actually,
how do you even get blue armor?
Yeah,
just
what?
I dismantle 500 pieces of it every week, so... must be some way to do it. Next question.
Okay, Hey Monty asks, thoughts on bad or good habits from 6v6? My 3v3 game suffers after Iron Banner. That's interesting. I'm going to let you guys talk first.
I'm terrified to go back to 3v3 after this week. I've been playing so recklessly. And like, smash that square button.
I think what I'm realizing is that because I tend to play one game mode day in and day out, whatever I'm into, it's good to mix it up. I definitely have seen myself improve at just sort of Twitch decision making where it's like zap someone with the plan C and then I see some red behind me, so I'm just going to turn around, start charging and zap someone there. And that's a skill that you build up in sixes that you don't really get anywhere else. Even in Rumble, it's not quite the same. So I don't know if it's good or bad habits. I think they teach different things and you just got to remember... do what makes sense for the environment. Don't die as much.
I don't know, man. I play so poorly in sixes after spending a lot of time in threes. Like, I think my personal play style is only meant for threes. And I don't know. I used to be able to just go out there and pub stomp, but once I really got the hang of spawns and the flow of the game, sixes feels like pure chaos. And every time I die, I'm getting shot from the left or the complete rear of me. Just totally unaware of someone behind me. So I don't know. I think sixes can train you to at least keep your head on a swivel, but I just urge everyone not to get into the habit of rushing forward towards their death and try to disengage in sixes, because the best games I've had in Iron Banner this week have come from me on my Titan using every mobility option possible to escape whenever I didn't have a kill. And I was charging around with Juggernaut and a shotgun, but if I wasn't going to make it, I would just veer off to the left and run away. And I ended up having these great high kill, high KD games. Not just high KD, but I was getting the kills. But that's because I was staying alive more often. So I don't know, man. It's taken me a long time to adjust to sixes, but it's nuts, man. It's nuts.
I would say this week that my KD has gone down because adjusting to a fusion rifle will do that. I have a lot of situations where I don't hit all my bolts, or I will, hit a few and be like, oh crap, I don't know what to do now. They've got me dead to rights. So I will have to see how that applies to threes after this week.
At Yup It's Arrow, aka Caleb Speed, asks, What's your guys' favorite set of gear? It can be year one.
Ooh.
You know what? I love Future War Cult Spectar Infinite gear.
Ooh, just you stole the words out of my mouth.
The no shader look is just too dope. But I was thinking about this, and honestly, if we're just going back in time, there's this one like blue Warlock helmet that has paisley and gold. And honestly, if there's one thing I was furious about in year one, it's why isn't this a legendary? Because this is the coolest thing that's ever existed in this game. And I remember the weekly update when Deej announced Thorn. He introduced us to Thorn. He said, "This is Thorn." There was a picture of a Warlock holding the gun out. Of course, everyone is looking at this creepy looking hand cannon, and I'm looking at this helmet with like gold paisley, and I'm like, wait, we can get that? That's cool. That is the coolest piece of armor, and I forget what it's called, but it's something we dismantled 1 billion times in year one. Other than that, I would say Vault of Glass is maybe hands down the best 3 sets across every class, best looking gear, and you know, I hope in like Destiny 4 that Vault of Glass gear is like all exotics or something like that, because it looks amazing.
Well, Bones, just stealing all of my answers out of my mouth.
Dude, we got too much. We got the groupthink going on, man. We just say the same things
inside my head. I would say that my favorite helmet, hands down, is the Titan helmet from Vault of Glass. It's my favorite, and if I could wear it all the time, I would.
I had a Future War Cult helmet from year one that I just loved. It looked so good with Million. It just had like a little smudge of the Future War Cult colors on it. But for Hunter, my favorite set, and I'm a little sick of it now, but just at the time, at the beginning of the Taken King, when I finally got that full Bog Wild set and I was wearing like the tiger stripe, the old guard, just like pretending to be a swamp creature, just feathers sticking out everywhere. It's definitely not something you want to rock 24/7, but I loved that set so much. I was so happy when I got the set.
Next up is Wezeldog Jr., aka Superman. What are your thoughts on fusion rifles currently? Specifically, the Vacancy and Thiessen.
Oh, they suck.
I haven't played with either of them lately, so I have no way of adding to this conversation.
Oh, it's a fusion rifle renaissance right now. I'm so happy. Obviously, Vacancy, Thiessen, FR4, they're right in that sweet spot. You gotta love them. I've been playing a lot of Plan C. I'm trying to get into the other ones. I want to pick up the Vendor Long Far Gone and the Vendor Vortex. They both have got interesting roles, and I want to sort of play around with the faster firing ones, especially the low stability ones now that they got that stability buff sort of, scaled up for the lower guys to see if you can really come up with something that's workable without braced frame.
Yeah, I would say that since I'm getting into fusion rifles now, I want to try them all, every single one. And I think there's something there for me eventually trying a very fast firing fusion rifle with my Juki Titan build to try something out that's like a little bit different, similar to a quick moving shotgun Titan.
I've seen it work. It's a nasty thing when you can do it right.
Well, that's it, man. That's all of our questions.
Those are good. Hot dog is not a sandwich.
What if you put a hot dog between 2 pieces of bread? What if you put 3 hot dogs between 4 pieces of bread? What do you call that?
What if I put a bunch of hot dogs between 2 grilled cheese sandwiches? Does that become a sandwich?
Yes.
Boom.
Yeah.
Lawyer.
Hungry.
How about those enchiladas?
Hungry in a real bad way.
Yeah. Someone send us enchiladas to crucibleradio@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Send your food to my home address.
Where I live and where I'm at, and I'm hungry. All right, guys. Well, thank you for another good week. Hey, Planet Destiny, go ahead, drop some of those comments with your questions on the YouTube videos. We'll dig into them next week.
And hey, big shout out from all of us here at Crucible Radio to Miss 5000 Watts. She's the new host of the Planet Destiny podcast.
Congratulations.
And that's awesome.
Congrats.
We miss Pope, but we've had Miss 5000 on the show. She's been on Planet Destiny before. We know all you love her. She is awesome. She is one of my favorite people in this community, honestly. Her positivity and her skill is just like, she's a pleasure to watch. And we wish her all the best. And man, Planet Destiny podcast. Sorry, Pope, but it just keeps getting better. But we love Pope as well, and we're gonna miss his his presence there as well, and we've had some fun games with him, and hopefully we'll get some more trials runs in the future. Pope, we love you.
All right, guys. Well, I think that does it. CrucibleRadio@gmail.com, at Crucible Radio on Twitter. Check these guys out on Twitch. Swain Stash and Drybones81.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a good week.
Bones, 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 bonesy bones, 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 bonesy bones, bones, bones.
Music this week comes from Le Cube. That's Cube with a Q. Check them out. It's lecube.bandcamp.com. Love these guys. I get at least 2 weeks out of them. We'll see about 3. Anyways, if you're a musician and would like your music featured on Crucible Radio, send us an email. It's crucibleradio@gmail.com.
Icebreaker, oh, icebreaker, I'll never forget you.